Good morning or afternoon, students. Are you ready for your very first history test this year? We are going to read through this test together. I want you to try your very, very best and listen carefully. You can pause this video at any time. If you need to go back, just rewind, pause, keep going. You're going to do awesome. Here we go. Number 1. I see that we have a graphic that says Spanish colonist and then a number 1, and then it says French colonists and a number 2. Which pair of actions best completes this graphic? So what this is saying is when we see a number 1, that would fill in the box with the number 1, and the same thing for the number 2. Okay, so A, did the Spanish establish Catholic missions while the French focused primarily on fur trading? Or B, did the Spanish promote political freedom while the French participated in the triangular trade? Or C, did the Spanish become commercial shipbuilders while the French created an early system of public schools? Number 2. Primary motives for European exploration of the Americas. And remember, this word motives just means reasons, and you know what reasons are. So don't let that word throw you off. So what were the reasons that they came from Europe to America? To increase wealth, ? To spread Christianity. Which motive or reason best completes this diagram? Did they come to A, promote free enterprise, B, extend democracy, or C, expand empires? All right, let's look at number 3. In the late 1400s and early 1500s, the primary motivation or reason for the European exploration was, my goodness, that sounds just like the question we just answered, doesn't it? So why did they come to Europe, from Europe to America? A, the desire to establish foreign colonies to relieve overpopulation. B, the need to find new sources of tin and wool. Or C, the desire to find new trade routes to China and the East Indies. Number 4, how does the physical geography of New England differ from that of Georgia and Alabama? Remember that physical geography just means land or weather. So how was the land and the climate in New England? A, New England has rockier soil and a shorter growing season. B, New England has more fertile soil and warmer summers. Or C, New England has fewer mountains and greater humidity. Number 5 has a map, and I see the 13 colonies. And it says, how were the first colonial settlements along the Atlantic coast of North America similar or alike? So how were these very first cities where we see all of these dots, how are they all the same? A, they lacked sufficient rainfall to grow crops. Lacked means they did not have. B, all of these cities could be approached by ships sailing from Europe. Or C, they had similar average temperatures in both the summer and the winter. Let's take a look at number 6, and it says industries of New England colonies: shipbuilding, fishing, fur trapping and trading, lumber milling. In other words, this is how the New England colonies made money. So, which physical characteristics or what part of their landforms made it possible for these economic activities. So how did their land allow all these? Okay, was it because A, they had tall mountains along shoreline and fertile soil? B, a temperate climate, vast grasslands, and plentiful lakes? Or C, dense forests, natural harbors, and swift rivers? Don't forget, we're talking about New England. We colored New England blue. Number 7, we see another map with lots of cities marked with these diamonds. Okay, so it says, based on the map, what is one way in which the physical characteristics of the environment influenced early colonial settlement patterns? So, what about the land helped the colonists choose where they live? Was it A, colonists located their towns along rivers farther upstream to avoid attacks by sea? B, the location of the first settlements was limited to the presence of the mountains? Or C, colonists built their first settlements on rivers or coastlines for transportation? Number 8, transatlantic slave trade, and we see a map of the bottom part of our triangular trade. So we are just focusing on that piece. Which one of the following was a major reason for the flow of the transatlantic slave trade shown on the map? A, the economic demands of the plantation system. B, increased textile manufacturing. Or C, increased Western migration. So I would say, look at these 3 words. Which one of those words best matches the word slave? Once you've answered question 8, I want you to keep that information in your brain because it's really going to help you with question number 9. On question number 9, we need to find what title would best fit this list. It says fertile, rich soil, increased demand for farm labor, nearly year-round growing season, and the end of indentured servant contracts. Which of these would be the best title for this chart? A, reasons for the spread of slavery on southern plantations. B, reasons for the growth of the mercantilism system. Or C, the effects of the Columbian Exchange. We have finally made it to number 10. We are at the end. And I am so sorry. I don't know why the copy machine barely printed this question. So listen carefully if you cannot read your paper. Number 10. Which individual, that just means person. So which person founded a colony to provide a safe home to English Roman Catholics? Think back, guys. We just did this as a warm-up. So who established a colony for the English Catholics? Was it A, Roger Williams, B, William Penn, or C, Lord Baltimore?